Today we're going to focus on three of the most basic visualizations that Power BI has to offer. The first of which is a table visualization, the second, a matrix, and then the third is just a basic bar chart. So to start with tables, tables are one of the simplest yet most dynamic visualizations that Power BI has to offer. When you think of an Excel spreadsheet, all of that data is in a tabular format where we're able to, alphabetize or, sort numerically based off of different fields within the database. Power BI is just the same in that, you're able to drag and drop different fields within all of the different tables that you have, and dependent on the relationship structures between the tables, can actually make them very dynamic. So in this Superstore sales example that I have shown on the screen, I have created a table, and the table is very, very simple. It just has the customer name, the customer segment that that customer belongs to, and then the revenue associated with that customer. To create this and just to replicate it, all that you need to do is click on in this visualizations pane where it has all of the different types of visualizations that exist within the Power BI interface. You can just click on this icon right here that says table. This will add the table to my canvas. And all I have to do now is actually just drag and drop the specific items that I want in my table onto the table. So if I want to actually replicate what I had previously built, I'm just going to click on customer name, and you see how customer name is going to flip up here in the columns field right down below within the visualizations pane, and then customer segment. And then because we have a one-to-many relationship set up between the customers table and the orders table, we're actually able to bring in the extended revenue as well. So as you can see, this shows us customer name, and this is already alphabetized because customer name right here was the first field that I dragged into this table. However, if I want to maybe sort by the sum of extended revenue, all I have to do is click on this top pane right here, and it'll sort from highest to lowest in terms of revenue. However, we might want to visualize this data a little bit differently, and that's where a matrix comes in. So a matrix, you can see, looks very, very similar to this table icon, but has a blue L on the right-hand side. So I'm going to go to this next page and just show you a matrix that we've already built out using pretty much the exact same data. So let's say I want to just now know, how much revenue am I actually bringing in per customer segment? Forget about the actual drill down of customer by customer. I want to just see by customer segment. And a matrix visualization might be a great way to do that. In the manner in which we do so, just to kind of replicate what I see up here, is I'm going to click on this matrix visualization, drag it to the middle of my page, and I want to look at by customer segment first. And I'm going to drag that into the rows column right here, or I'm sorry, the rows field right here. However, if you look at this top matrix, you can see that it has a plus sign to the left of each of the titles. If I click on that, oh, look, it'll actually bring up all of the customers that belong to that customer segment. The matrix visual is super dynamic in that we can establish and bring in hierarchy so that we can look at our data at a very aggregated view or get down to the more granular view. So let's say I also want to include my customer name in here. I'm just going to drag it below my customer segment in the rows section. However, you may notice that there is another data field in here, and that's actually based off of the product category. So are the customers buying furniture, office supplies, or technology? And the way in which you bring that new field in here is actually in this columns pane. You'll just bring the product category over here like that. And since we don't have any values actually populating the data, it's going to show up as blank. However, I want to look at revenue. We're going to look at the same exact thing. And we'll go back to our orders field where we created a measure that is called extended revenue. And we're going to just bring that extended revenue into this values pane right here, thus populating our matrix. And we're able to drill down And if we want to look at all of the customers by product category, we can view that by a column, or just by each of the 4 customer segments we can do right there. The third visual that we're going to look into today is a bar chart. And a bar chart is of the most simple of visualizations. You'll see within the visualization pane, there are several bar chart examples that you can choose from. Everything between a stacked bar chart to a clustered chart to 100% stacked bar chart if you want to show different percentages of a certain field. And even you can overlay a trend line or even just a line chart on top of a stacked column chart if the visualization or if the story that you're trying to tell with the data requires you to do so. So if I look at this bar chart that I've created, you'll see it looks very similar to all of this data that I have right here. It's actually just a simple aggregation of total revenue by product category. If I want to bring in and do the same thing, I'll just pull in this stacked column chart, reformat it a little bit, and let's look at on our x-axis, I want to bring in product category, and that'll automatically flip to my x-axis. And then I want to bring in my extended revenue again. Look at that. We have our revenue. If we hover over, we can see we have a total sum of $6,406,000 of extended revenue in technology, and that decreases as we go right. I'll show in the next video how to actually format some of these visualizations, but as for the time being, these are the 3 most basic visualizations that Power BI has to offer. And if you have any questions regarding formatting or creating more dynamic views using each of these visualizations, be sure to check out our next video.